For a long time, like me, I've been in Mary Kay for a long time. I've been in Mary Kay for over 43 years. So I know what it's like to kind of hover for a while. And I just want to say if that's where you are, I get it. So let's just go real quickly here and share some different things that I hope that will help you. So let me just tell you a little bit about me and my journey so that when I came into Mary Kay, I was super busy. How many of you are super busy? Every woman raise your hand. Every woman's busy. That's just how we roll. There's not a busy woman out there. I think women are born busy. They come out busy. They run busy. And then that's just who we are. So I was working a full-time job and going to school full-time. So therefore, I had no time. I had only came in basically, actually, I only came in to basically get the lady off my back who was bugging me. And she bugged me for an entire year. Okay. And I was not planning on doing anything with this. Maybe you're on here and you just came in for family and friends and personal use and just a little bit of sales. But there's many sales directors who are on here today that they came in because of that. So I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I will tell you, it was that time that I didn't go really to meetings and I just was kind of hovering and I was doing my own thing. And, I really wasn't selling, but everybody was going to seminar. Now, back in the day, we had a lot more FOMO, I think, than you do today because we didn't have cell phones and we didn't have computers. How many of you remember the phone connected to the wall? Yes. So we had the phone connected to the wall. And so everybody was going to the seminar. And I will tell you, that's where I went and I saw Mary Kay. And a lot of the rest is history. I do want to share with you, if you've been on, and I messaged one of my consultants today. I don't know if she can be on, but thank goodness you're recording this, Laura. Sometimes when you've been in for a long time and you haven't connected for a long time, it's like, I need the money. And I know I have this Mary Kay thing, but it's been just hovering for 10 years and I really haven't done much about it. Or you've just been in forever or something. I want to tell you a couple stories. First, one of my directors, she has been in Mary Kay a long time. She was not with me in the beginning. I think maybe I'm her third director. She's been in a long time, but she came back in, and I think somebody planted a seed. How many of somebody's planted a seed in your head, and you've kind of taken it through your life? So somebody told her that she would never be a sales director. So she kind of hovered as a consultant, and I don't have the exact amount of days or years or whatever she was a consultant Mary Kay, but she never became a director because someone planted that seed. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Somebody plants a seed in your head and you kind of remember that too. So somebody planted a seed in her head, told her she'd never become a sales director. So she just hovered in and out of Mary Kay, going to this, going to that, until I came along. I don't let people hover too much. And I said, you need to go to seminar. And we were from there, but she crossed the line this year. Not going to a lot of detail because we don't have a whole lot of time, but she became a sales director. And I think just knowing that she could cross the line over 30 years later was the biggest accomplishment. So be careful when people plant seeds. How many of you had people said, no, you can't do that. There's something else. But anyway, but it's all about, of course, earning income. And at the time I was broke. I was a college student. And it's a different ball game today. So let's just talk about you. So if you've been in a long time or you've been in a while and you're just kind of there and you kind of want to get there, it's a great time right now to move your business forward. So like I said, if you've been around a while, ask yourself, why haven't I been doing some things? Or why haven't you done a whole lot? Or are you selling anything or just doing personal use? Anyway, it's okay. You can press the restart button. And as Hannah sent me through Amazon a couple weeks ago, that was easy button. So you can press the restart button and pretend you're new. So I'm just going to say right now, if you've been around a while, you guys can start the reset button. I could tell you so many stories in my 43 years of people who have just hovered for a long time and then all of a sudden picked it up, dusted off their starter bag, and then started going in. So Lily today is flourishing. She's crossed her first three challenges. She got $1,000 bonus. Her check last month was over $4,000. And this is 30 years that somebody planted a seed and it just grew in her brain. So I'm just going to say that happens. And so, there's always a great time. And what are some great ways that you're going to do this? So I'm going to say share a couple of things that would be helpful to you that if you've been in a while. First, I would suggest you go to my website. And I know you've got me screen shared, so let me see if I can screen share it here. This is my website, maybe it's here. I have new consultant orientation, or wherever your director goes to. I have mine here, it's under resources, Then it's under new consultants. Go watch something. Pretend like you're new and just like press the reset button. Okay. So some of you need to go on and just say, okay, let's do that. But it is a good time to come in. We can talk about some other things, but I just want you to make sure that you see my website here because I'm going to talk about some of the virtual things that are on here too. But it is an opportunity for you to press that reset button and to start over. And sometimes just going back because things have changed. And how many of you, when you came into Mary Kay, they didn't have what they have today? I recently took 3 orders from my consultants because they got so crazy with the new website. Now the website's been changed for about ordering has been changed for about a year or so, but it's still sometimes if you're not always on there. So you have to really go back to maybe new consultant orientation and just watch it, plug into your director, find out what's going in and navigate. And the other thing I would definitely be jumping on is our Wednesdays and Thursdays events. And let me tell you why. When I came into Mary Kay, we did not have the virtual platform. Actually, I don't think anybody had a virtual platform until the pandemic. Then the world had a virtual platform. We did. How many of you had kids and you were now a school teacher? You were a lot of different things. So when the pandemic came, we pivoted and this is where we are. Now, if you are not familiar, I'm going to ask you just to peek to one Wednesday and one Thursday. Be committed to coming to one Wednesday and one Thursday just to see, because you don't really know until you see. Last night, I had 3 staff members on here. I had Jackie, our makeup artist. I had Lindsay on. I had Stefan. We had 437. There were over, Carla said there were over, she lost count after 199 guests were on last night who purchased product. Now, the reason I love this platform for you all is you're like, Janice, I am so out of the product. Like I couldn't even tell you what's in this. Okay. I have no idea what that is. And so for education for you, you can come on, and last night you would have heard about all this amazing products about prepping your skin for makeup. So one, you're getting educated, but if you had invited 5 friends on there, they would have sent you a text message saying, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Some of my consultants and even my directors have sold over $700 at a virtual event. So I'm doing your work for you. Now, that was never before the day. Let's go back to the pandemic, and a national didn't run around the country, trust me, selling your product for you. Those things never happened. And so I will tell you, you all have a platform today where it's super easy. And I would plug yourself into one Wednesday and one Thursday so that you can see. I think a lot of what I'm going to share with you, a lot has to do with virtual. I mean, just virtually watching. I promise you, you'll get re-excited when you come on and our holiday event, you see 846 people on here. You're like, what is happening? When you come on to our sharing events and you see people signing up for Mary Kay because you invited them and you did nothing but invite them, which takes words. So I just want to say, besides going on to restart your business, maybe jumpstart a new consultant orientation, but I would go into one Wednesday and one Thursday just to peek, just to watch, just to see the education more than anything. And I say Wednesday and Thursday, we don't have one next Wednesday because it's in a month and we've got a retreat. But every Wednesday and every Thursday, we usually have one. And we have makeup artists and we have Lance, our chemist, on. So it's not like we're just throwing you stuff. It's really, really impressive. So if you haven't done that, I would say that, okay? It's been such a platform. Like I said, last night alone, we had 487. So it's really, really great. You guys will get re-energized about the product. I met this woman at UPS a couple weeks ago. And I'll just tell you a quick story. I met her at the UPS a couple weeks ago, and I was taking Mary Kay boxes in to ship overseas to Europe for my girls for samples. And they say Mary Kay on the box. And I'm holding the boxes. And she goes, are you in Mary Kay? And you want to look around, you're like, yes. She goes, do you have a sample? I'm like, I've got 3 boxes in my hands. No, I don't have a sample. But she says, can I take your phone and put my phone number in it? I'm like, sure. So she grabbed her phone. She put her phone number in there, Lupe, blah, blah, blah. She said, okay, great. I really want to talk to you. I'm like, okay, great. I'll book you for a double facial. Now, I have to tell you, I haven't done, other than virtual, because I'm running around the country helping all my people, I haven't done a double facial or party for for me in probably 3 years. And I'm telling you that because I've been doing them for everybody else. You can trust me. I'm out on the weekends. I'm going Monday. I'm doing 30 models on Monday. So I get it. But it was something about her. How many of you have ever had that feeling there's something about somebody? And so I went to go do the makeover, and she called me just in time before I got to her house. And she said, Janice, you can't come because my daughter's got late for school, but I really want to talk to you. I need to make some money. I'm really good. I'm a good hustler. I'm bilingual. I will do anything you tell me to do. I have a real estate license and it's just not going well. But I had something about you, and I said something about you too. So we're going to see each other Saturday. But she was on last night and she blew up my phone last night. So I'm telling you, people you don't even know will come on and get educated and get excited and buy products. So she's going to be my next director. She probably will. She said she's one of these people who say, just tell me everything you know. I want your life. I see you travel. I've been on your Facebook. I've been stalking you. Like that's kind of scary. But anyway, um, but also to get your guests on. So I want to say new consultant orientation or do that, okay? And then watch our platform. For those of you who are busy working or you don't even know how to jumpstart, it's a great platform for you to have people, and it's for you to get re-energized also too. You can't get on and not laugh, have fun. We all make idiots out of ourselves sometimes, but it's really, really fun. And they win things. We give away Kate Spade, we give away Michael Kors, we give away about $400 or $500 worth of prizes every single week. So it's really the best place to jump back in until you get the confidence you gain. The other thing you can do is host a party with your sales director. Now, I know your sales director has invited you on here tonight, and you may not be local to her, so you might have to jump on that one. I don't know. You guys will figure that. But if you are anywhere within an hour radius of your sales director, the best thing you could do is say, look, I have no idea what I'm doing. Would you come? And I will tell you that this is the best thing that you can do is it re-energizes. Grab your sister and your cousin and your mother and say, I'm hosting a Mary Kay party. They're going to say, aren't you in Mary Kay? Yes, but I'm just doing this to jumpstart. Really? And then you'll get all the reels. Blah. So just tell them just to come. Okay? Now, what will happen is your mother will get resold, your sister will get resold, your aunt will get resold. They'll all want to buy stuff, and you'll be like, okay, I got this. Because you visually saw how it worked. You saw the excitement, you saw the skin change, you saw the transformation, you saw the money go around. I think Sue's on here tonight. I got a lead from Germany. One of my directors over there gave me a lead for a lead in Texas. She didn't know I haven't moved, and I didn't tell her. And so I called Sue, and Sue goes, that's 2.5 hours for me. I said, so Sue went to do that party with the girl from Germany who only wanted to buy a couple things. Almost $800. She's a brand new Great Starts qualified team member. That's how fast things can change. That's how things can go today. But have your sales director who are very skilled and very can do this easy. Grab your cousin, your mother, the next door lady who really needs a facial anyway, and just do something fun. Just say, you know what? You don't have to buy anything. You always tell when people don't have to buy anything, it lifts the weight off your shoulders. Like, I want this, I want that, yeah, all that stuff. So just for fun, and watch and learn to run this. So it's the new consultant orientation, and just you guys jump back in so that you know how to navigate your in touch, where to find things. If you're going to restart, how many businesses do a grand opening? How many of you have ever seen signs out there and you're like, I thought they've been in business for 30 years. We're doing a grand opening. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I think that they want the business all over again. So you can do a grand opening for your business, even if it's been 20 years later, okay? And you can jumpstart your business. That is for sure. I'm a visual learner, and I know that we are all that is really important to a lot of people. I think what I love both about having your director help you is that you have a skincare class, or maybe you're jumping back into a ladies' night out, a girls' night out, a mom's night out, but it gets you to see how this really works. And we had the live to face, and of course we have the platform today of the virtual world. So you guys really have the best of both worlds today. So honestly, I really feel consultants can make so much more money today because of the second platform. Now, there are other avenues of income also. But let me just say this. When I came into Mary Kay, I was 22. I was busy going to college full time. Remember I told you that story. I went to seminar. I met Mary Kay. Pretty much the rest is history. I came home and said, thanks, Dad, for the college education, but I'm going to take a little break. I was going for my second degree in college at the time. I decided to take a little break after the seminar, and I went to work and became a sales director 3 months later. It's always about as soon as you make that decision. I became a sales director in 1984. Don't tell me if you weren't born, don't want to know. In 1984, I became a sales director, and I moved from Northern California, probably to the most expensive place in California was Santa Barbara, California. Super expensive. My townhouse at the age of 24, my townhouse at the age of 24 years old was $1,800 a month. And I was single, self-supportive on Mary Kay. So if I didn't sell, I didn't eat. Now, top ramen was 24 for a dollar or something like that. I had noodles for a while, but it didn't matter because I was excited and I was focused. Okay. So when people say, yes, you can make the money, I just picked up, I'll pull this, see if I can pull this out here. It's not been hung up yet because it just arrived in the mail. You see what this says? This says 6 million. Okay. That, that is money. I'm not sure where it went, but I had that. Let me put that down there real quickly. But it is money, but it started as a broke college student with no money, and it borrowed $600 from my dad, where I said, Dad, I'll pay you $50 a month. And I paid it right back and went down and got a loan and got my business off the ground. But there's many avenues of income right now. During the holidays, there's some great ways you can earn money. Okay, so you need to get together with your director, but there's a couple programs. One's called Adopt a Grandparent. I always get scared when I talk about this because people think, I don't want to take any old people home. I don't need to adopt them. I have enough around my house. Okay, so that's not it. Adopt a Grandparent is a skilled nursing facility situation. So one of my consultants made $3,000 last year by just helping her community and the elderly people with this program because it was sponsored by businesses. It was a really great thing to do. It is on my website. It's Adopt a Grandparent 1 video and Adopt a Grandparent 2 video. That's another great program that you guys can do. There's so many ways that you can make money, but you can make $3,000 just helping the elderly in the community with this amazing program. And again, go to my website and it's Adopt a Grandparent 1 and 2, and you can see everything there. We have events, and I can tell you, events sell. I had a retreat last weekend and I had a lot of people who have never gone. And I think it's hard to describe what events are like, but so many people came uncommitted and left committed because they now see and they have the visual aspect. So I will tell you, if you haven't been to anything in a long time, my suggestion also would be to attend something, to plug into something. And you know, it might be a drive, it might be a flight. I don't know. If you are around next week and you're not far from Granbury, Texas, I'm not going to tell anybody else in this group because it's a sold out event, but you're welcome to come and check us out. But it's going to be really, really great. And, you know, it really gives you an idea of what this company is all about. But retreats are everywhere. Like I said, I just came off of ours, but it gives you that bigger vision. Now, career conference is in March. It's in lots of cities across the United States. So check with your director for the next event that you can go to. I think once you immerse yourself back in, you know, it's so great about Mary Kay people. We're so loving and so helpful all the time that if you just say, you know, Laura, I just want to start. What do I need to do first? Watch this. Let's book a party. Let's do this. I think once you just immerse yourself back in, it's really super easy. But what if? How many of you could use that extra $1,000 a month? Is anybody out there could use that extra $1,000 a month? Okay. So you know, that's really, if you think about it, $1,000 a month profit is $2,000 in sales. So that means if you divide it into 4 weeks, that's $500 a week. So that is one great party with 5 to 6 people, becoming good at your skincare closing, or have your director help you with that, and 1 or 2 virtual events. That is how easy it is. It is not 5 parties. How many of you could do one girls' night out, really fun girls' night out, once a week, you know, with 5 or 6 people? But your party should be at least $300 or more in sales. And with that many people, you could do a couple of adopt a grandparents. Maybe you could do another ladies' night out, or $100 a week in sales. And pretty soon the 500 is there. So it's $500 in sales a week. And really, it's not that difficult. You're talking about 6 hours. So let me ask you, how many of you have a boss? Who's got a boss out there? Like, not your husband, but you know, a real boss. Like the, you know, the one that goes, okay. Latanya knows, yeah, I got him too. Okay, so if you have a boss, let me ask you, if you walked into work tomorrow and your boss said, Latanya, I have a raise for you, would you be excited, scared, or shocked? Yeah, shocked. I can read your lips. Shocked. Most of you would be shocked. How many of you would be shocked? Okay. If your boss said, I have a raise for you, would you be excited, scared, or shocked? Anyway, so let's say your boss said, Latanya, it's $1,000 extra a month. Now, would you be excited, shocked, or scared? You're still shocked, I'm sure. It's $1,000 a month. Well, he's piqued your interest, right? Exactly. So then he says, Latanya, if you work 1.5 hours a day extra, 1.5 hours a day extra, at the end of the month, I'll give you an extra $1,000. You know what? 99% of you would say, okay, it's $1,000 raise. But here's the thing is we do it for them, but we don't do it for us. You see, those 6 hours that he just did for you, you could be doing for yourself. And instead of building somebody else's business and helping other people make money, you could be making money yourself. So, that's the whole thing. When I came back from seminar, I made the decision that I needed the income for myself. Like I shared, I was single and self-supportive, very expensive town, but I made it happen through my sales. And it's because I built a good business. And we have an amazing business. We have one of the opportunities. There's a lot of companies out there today. When I came in America, there was not as much competition, but there's a lot today. But there's not as many reorders. Like I know there's jewelry out there, and I get it. But honestly, Mary Kay gives me all the free jewelry I need. I don't need it anymore. Unless you run out of it or it breaks, you don't need it. Okay. My older sister, she tried Pampered Chef, and I'm not here to slam companies, but that stuff was so guaranteed that when the potato peeler broke, they got a new one. And I don't know how many of those you need, but I need one in my life. Okay. She didn't do that for like more than a week because I told her it was the dumbest thing in the world. But if you're going to sell something, you want to sell something. Every night, people go around and the sink and they wash their face and they take all that product off. And the next morning they put it all back on. And then they take it off and put it on, take it off, put it on. I'm telling you, it is amazing. If you make a goal to have 20 new customers a month, 20 new customers a month. Can you imagine if you made a goal to have 20 new customers a month in 10 months, you would have 200 customers and you can sit at home, Latanya, in your sweats and just answer the phone and make money from all those customers with those reorders. Okay. So it's really, that is nothing. There are directors on here. In fact, directors, if you have more than 200 customers, just put how many customers you have on there. Some of you have been in longer, put how many customers you have. But weekly sales becomes so much. There's Rachel has 500, 575. Thank you, Jessica. Can you imagine the reorder business that these women have done? 220. Thank you, Tony. It's a lot of money, you guys. That's crazy. Okay. So talk about how to get started. And if you're brand new, the most important thing you can do right now is get together with your sales director. So if you're on here and you're brand new, you want to get your sales director on here and work with her. It's so funny. I always say if you're coachable, you'll make money. So this girl who met me at the UPS with the boxes, I had no samples, with the phone number, who's bilingual, who lives 15 minutes from my house. She said, Janice, I've been looking you up. I want your life. She sees me traveling. She says, I want to travel. I want to do what you want to do. I want to do it. See, I want people to chase me. I don't want to chase them. How do you all feel about that? Don't you want customers to say, Latanya, I'm out of my stuff. Oh my gosh, my face fell off. I need my stuff. Those are the people that you want. Okay. So I keep picking on you, but you're right in front of me. Jamie's there and Tracy's there and Laura's there too. So I'll pick on some others. But it's easy to do. Ladies' nights out, girls' nights out. How about a customer appreciation event? If you guys just have your family and friends, why don't you do a family night out and just do makeovers? And so you don't know what you're doing. Here's what a lot of people do. The first Wednesday of every month, I do skincare, just like I'm doing right here. And if you have a kitchen table and you put all the trays and mirrors and all the product in there, and your director can tell you how to do that, all you have to do is put your tablet up and say, here, watch Janice. And all you have to do is hand out washcloths and tell them to take that off, put that on. Oh, you look great. Go on to the next product. I mean, literally, I can do your work for you. So I want to tell you, it's pretty easy. But we do a lot of moms' nights out, girls' nights out, U+2. There are so many great things you can do right now, and everybody buys. By the way, do you know that the easiest people to sell to during the holidays? How many of you know the easiest people to sell to during the holidays? Does anybody know? Anybody want to put in the chat section? Uh-huh. Yep. Who are the easy? Yep, they are. See, everybody knows it's the men. So here's the thing about men. You have to make them if you take a man's wallet out, he has a 20, 40, 60, 80. He only has 20s. Okay? They don't change. They don't change. They usually dump their change. I don't know what they do with it. Okay? So you have 20, 40, and $60 wrapped, tagged, and ready to go gifts. They have to be wrapped and tagged because remember, they forgot the Christmas card. They forgot all that stuff. Okay. You have to, you have to do that. Okay. So you have to think about all the places you can go and what you can do. I'll tell you a story. Um, 4 nights before Christmas, I was living in Santa Barbara. I had a pink Cadillac by then, but even if you don't, it doesn't matter. Just spray paint your car pink. No, don't do that. So let's say that you have your car, and we went to 2 gas stations and 3 fire stations in one night. Now it's probably the only time of year where you can buy a Santa hat and it's on and wear something cute and jump out of your car and say, "Hey, we're Santa's elves," and not get thrown like in jail or like, "Who are you?" or "You're strange" or whatever. Okay, you can be Santa's elf. So during the holiday season, especially during the cold times, fire stations, there has to be men in there, but they're not doing anything. They're pretty bored. So we went to 2 gas stations and 3 fire stations. And we rang the doorbell for the fire station and said, "Hi, we're Santa's elves. Have you finished your shopping?" And what did most men say 3 days before Christmas? No, we haven't started. So we had them wrapped, tagged, and ready to go. We sold $1,100 that evening just to men 2 days before Christmas. They're the easiest people to sell for. So there is the virtual world, there's the live world, there's the adopted grandparent, there's the holiday sales, there's men's, there's new consultant training, there's a party with your director. I just want you to know that some people say, I don't, is there really money in this? I have paid for 2 college educations. We just bought our 7th home. We've sold the others, but this is our 7th. I'm done with that now too. I travel all over the world. In 10 days, I'll leave and I'll jump over to Europe. I have to jump over there and help so that sounds crazy. I got to jump to Holland and help my DIQ over there finish up so that she'll be a great director. So I'm literally going to go over there. And it's so funny. It's not really that expensive. I think my airline ticket is $575. Well, that's what it is to go to from California to Florida, or maybe it's even more. I don't know. But I want you to know, no matter where you are, if you need to press a reset button and you don't know where to start, because I think if you've been in a long time, it's like, I don't even know what this product does anymore. I don't even know how to even do this anymore. Then jump on for the education. If you don't reconnect, you're not going to connect. You've got to reconnect with your director. You got to take direction. Okay. I have a lot of people who say they want to make a lot of money. I'm really giving free advice. Like, what do I know? I've made 6 million, but people don't want to take my advice. And they're still pretty much where they are. Okay. So, you can do whatever you want. But here's the thing is that if you really want that money and you don't do something different, you are going to stay exactly where you are. It is not going to change. And so if you want that $1,000 for Christmas, if you want cash for Christmas, how many of you could use an extra $1,000 just to blow on family for the holidays? Anybody out there? Could anybody use that extra $1,000 for your family? And if not, hand it to your husband. Nothing is better, there you go, Latanya, than to put it all in $1 bills, $1,000 in sales, and hand him a big wad, or throw it in the air when he comes to the door and say, "It's all yours, you can have it." That's not really what you want to do. You want to say, "Half that's mine," but it's okay. Just do that once, and they're very excited for you. One of my consultants decided to go buy her husband a truck a long time ago. She says, "I'm going to make the payment. I'm going to go buy the truck." And he was like, "Whatever you need to do, Mary Kay, I'll watch the kids or do whatever." From then on, he was like sold. She made a $426 payment for every single month for the brand new truck that she bought him. I think this like maybe 20 years ago. But she did that because she knew that it would force her. And sometimes, you guys, we need that push a little bit to go do something. I think, how many of you had a bill, like a really big bill, or you got a letter and you're like, "What do I owe the government?" Or "What happened here?" Or "What is that came in the mail?" And "Who did what?" And "My kids did what?" And "How much money do you need?" There's another source of money that goes out. If you don't do something different, because let me tell you, if you think they need you to be at home, you're there when they're little. You need to be around when they're in junior high and high school and college. That's when all of it hits the wall. Okay. So that's when you need to have that income. But I just want to say from today, and thank you, Laura, for putting this together. The good thing about my masterclass is you give them an idea and then they latch on to you and they don't let you move. So this came from Laura. So thank you, Laura, for that. And I appreciate the 31 of you who are on here tonight. So let's just talk about this. If it's been a while and you need to restart, or even you're new and you're not really sure. Number one, go back to training. Sometimes we just need to put that restart button. Go back to training. Talk to your director about new consultant orientation. Watch mine. I don't care. Find some training. But and don't like I'll do it for 5 minutes a night for 25 nights. You're never going to make that $1,000, okay? Get to it, okay? Go on and watch Adopt a Grandparent, connect with your director, you book a live party, have she'll give you the schedule for all the Wednesdays events and all the Thursdays events. And I will tell you in 30 days, if you take that plug and put it back into the wall and get your energy going again, it'll make a difference. See, some of you, I always tell the story of a coffee pot. When the coffee pot is plugged in, the coffee is hot or warm. And then you unplug it and it goes from hot to warm to cold to mold. And some of you are mold. And some of you haven't had anything to do with your Mary Kay in a long time. You know how that green stuff, if you just leave the little bag, y'all see, the thing is, y'all know what I'm talking about, which is actually kind of scary. Everybody knows about that. So if you have mold, then you need to go back and plug yourself in. Anytime a consultant or even a sales director unplugs themselves from the energy source, it happens. And that's in anywhere you when you go. It's like church. If you unplug yourself from church, if you unplug yourself from other things that are positive things for you in your life, it happens. Things change. They're different. So I'm just going to encourage you to press the restart button. So from tonight, talk to your director and say, I need $1,000. Let me know the schedule on Wednesday and Thursday. Where's the new consultant training? And here are the times that I can have. Can you come over and do a party with me? I guarantee you, just do a party. It will let go, whatever. And you don't have to do it. Let her do it. She'll help you sell the product, okay? But watching her visually, what she does will really make a difference for all of you tonight and in this next, year. I'm sticking around in case you haven't heard. I was going to retire this year, but I wasn't quite ready. So it's official as of Monday this week that I had to sign a little contract that says I'm not retiring. So I don't know. I guess I'm not done yet. So I still got some work to do. Laura, do we have questions or do you want to stop the recording and we'll do questions? How would you like to do this? I have about
Yep.
3 to 5
Let
minutes.
me let me stop the recording.